Taken back.
Okay.
Yes, guys, and we are back, and I've got a very special guest with us on today, and I'm so stoked to have him on. It took a little while for us to actually bring him on, but we finally had him on, and a lot of you may know him. He's pretty big in the grow industry, especially when it comes to scrogging, man. So I'm super stoked to have on the Northern Scrogger, man. So Northern Scrogger, how's it going, man?
Good, man. How are you? Thank you very much for having me on here. I appreciate it.
Most definitely, dude, man. Like I was telling you just off air, man. I've been following you for quite some time. Like, guys, if you don't know about the Northern Scrogger, like something is missing in your life. I'm just being real with you guys. Like, you can definitely check him out. His Instagram recently got taken down, and he made a new one. It's building back up quickly, so definitely go and show him some love. I'm gonna put links to all his stuff down there. He's got a dope YouTube channel, and what's even greater than that, guys, he's got a massive Facebook group with like how many growers are on there now?
I think we're up to about 64, something like that.
Jesus.
64,000.
Wow, man, that's a lot of gromies out there, dude. So like that, guys, if you're interested in increasing your yields, this episode's for you. If you want to join up the group, definitely check them out. Links are down below. But like, thank you for jumping on, man. Like the first thing I always ask everyone is about their name. So tell me about your name, Northern Scrogger. How did that name come about?
Well, yeah, cool, man. So Northern Scrogger just kind of came about because I live in Canada, and I'm kind of in the not super northern Canada, but I'm in like a little bit of the northern section, what we call.
Okay.
So I'm in like, so I always just thought like, you know what, I'm just going to be a northern and I'm a Scrogger. So I just felt like that just flowed nice. Northern Scrogger sounded nice for me. So I just went with that.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. That's freaking awesome, man. And like I've been following you for quite some time, man. So I really seen like the evolution. I've seen the different techniques that you use when it comes to scrogging. I've seen that you even make your own scrogs out of like a whole bunch of different materials. You've tried different things so you know what works and what doesn't. We're gonna get into all of that today, guys. Gonna unpack everything. But before we do, like I just want to also ask, man, like I've seen like in your back garden and stuff, you got some other plants there as well. So just out of curiosity, do you grow anything else other than medicinal plants, or is it only medicinal plants?
I pretty much only grow medicinal plants. I have a few. I sometimes grow like I'll start my veggies in my grow room for like the summer outside stuff, like corn and tomatoes. I'll start them in my room, but then I take them outside when it's summer.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, because I did see some of those tomatoes, and like a lot of people use like the tomatoes and trellises. So I was like, okay, is there something going on there?
You know what? I do have a little thing going on where I am gonna like scrog some vegetables, but I haven't really showed that yet. But yeah, good eye on that.
Yeah, man. I'm always like trying to see what you're doing and like see what tips that you got. Because like I said, guys, he's got some great tips. Like even the square size of the holes, man. Like he's got some awesome tips, man. So before we get into that, man, like tell me, how did you actually get into growing? How long now have you been growing, and like how did you get into it all?
Well, I've been growing for about, I'd say, close to 20 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm 38 years old, so I was young. Actually, I got introduced to it through my family at a younger age. And then the way that I could grow it back then was in a low space. I never had any height.
I see.
I was always an indoor grower. So I just learned the technique scrogging actually through my family.
Wow.
And I just kind of picked it up and I put my own stuff to it and just kept on continuing the tradition, I guess.
Wow.
But scrogging is actually a worldwide technique, like well before I ever came around. So like it was used by the Egyptians. If you like, they have little pictures on their pyramid walls of like scrogging green beans.
No way, dude. I never knew that, dude. You're blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, you can scrog tomatoes, you can scrog a lot of different vegetables. Yeah, so it is a well-known technique, but I definitely have applied my own like tips to it when it comes to medicinal.
Yeah, for sure, man. But that's pretty crazy. That's awesome, man. Like it just came down through your family. Like I honestly never expected to hear that. I thought like maybe you just picked it up, you mastered it over time, but like to hear like it's actually come down with all that care, you know, from generation to generation. That's intense, dude.
Yeah, I was a young guy when I stumbled into my first grow room, let's say that. And ever since then I was actually amazed. Like walking into like I kind of walked into just like a big white room with like, it looked like a doctor's lab to me with some healthy green plants. Yeah. So that was when I was really young.
Yeah.
And then as I grew up, I started getting more curious into it.
I got you.
And then and since it's been legalized in Canada, I was able to show what I've learned for like a lot of my life, right? So now I have the opportunity to teach other people what I have learned. So
Yeah.
that's what I really am happy about.
That's amazing, man. And it's always about like just giving back and like always spreading the knowledge. And one thing that I'm always like so happy to see about you, and it's super commendable, dude. So hats off to you, man. Like you're always sharing the knowledge. You take your time on your Facebook group to respond to people's questions, just to if they ask you a question about the
Mm-hmm.
techniques, the different ways that they can set it up in their grow room. You look at their pictures and you're like, okay, this is what I think you should do in your setup. Like you really take the time. It's about sharing that information, sharing that knowledge, and just having that care, right?
Yeah, for sure, man. Like sharing is caring, and like I like if someone has a genuine question and they're just not trying to be like a smart ass, then
Yeah.
I really want to help them out. And
Yeah.
like it makes me happy when I see them send me a picture, say a month or 2 months later, like happy, like look what I did, look at this, like
Yeah.
that's what excites me. And I'm like, awesome, like let's do this.
Yeah, dude. Like
Yeah.
honestly, when I first joined the Northern Scrogger, no, it's not even the Northern Scroggers, the Scroggers Facebook group, and Northern
Yes.
Scroggers the Facebook page. When I first joined the Scroggers group, like I could always tell which pictures were yours, like because your frames are so perfect, the canopies were maxed out, like perfect buds everywhere. But now I hop on and it's like this one looks like no, oh no, this is actually
Yeah.
not. This is someone else's, and everyone is just picking up the technique and executing it so well, man. So honestly, props to the work you're doing over there, bro.
Yeah, thank you. That's funny that you mentioned that because that actually happens to me now. Like I go on Scroggers and I start scrolling through and I see Scrogs and I'm like, I didn't post that picture, and then it's not my picture. I'm like, holy wow, like that's really awesome. So yeah, that's really rewarding for sure.
Yeah, man, that's fucking awesome, dude. Oh my gosh, man, like hats off to that, man. But let's just take a pin, man, because for those who may not know, like scrogging is a grow technique that pretty much stands for screen of green, right? So can you just break down what scrogging is for someone who never heard of the technique before?
For sure. So scrogging is, in my mind, a technique used to maximize your grow space and your grow light.
Okay.
So by doing that is I would keep my screens low. So I would use a screen to grow my plants.
Yeah.
Scrogging and the way that I scrog is I grow my plants horizontal during the vegetation growth. So
Okay.
I'm not growing anything vertical. I'm on a horizontal growth underneath
Yeah.
a screen that I
Yeah.
use to keep tucking my branches under.
Okay. I
Yeah,
got you.
so eventually once I'm done tucking all my branches and my screen is filling up to the point where I'm happy with, I will flip my lights to the flower stage, which is like 1212 from 18.6. And I will then continue tucking forward the flower stretch. That's
Yeah.
normally like 8 to 10 days. After that, I just let everything rise up off the screen.
Ooh,
And then
beautiful.
yeah, and and I have a lot of tips to control like your evenness of your canopy. There's a lot of tricks into like just like tying down your screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot, not a lot to it. Like anyone can pick it up. I tell everyone like after your second grow of just following along on my tutorial that I offer, your
Yeah.
second grow you will have scrogging pretty much like not down, but pretty very comfortable with it.
Sorted. I like that, man. And you kind of like broke that down really, great because it's really a method to the madness. And I guess that the time that you start and stop tucking is really important for you to really be able to get those big buds just above the frame, right?
That's right. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, man. So like, yeah, that's the trick is like when to know when to stop tucking during the flower stretch is like, so like you don't want to stop tucking like at the very last moment or else you're just going to have like a little bud coming off your screen. You want to stop tucking so you still get enough coming off the screen and then it's going to stop, but it's going to start to stack buds.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense, dude. Like crazy. That makes a lot of sense now because when I first started off scrogging, it was a little bit difficult. I was like, okay, why are the buds not getting as big as I want? Why are they really just sort of why am I getting like half a bud under the screen and the next half is like trying to get over the screen? So that's
Mm-hmm.
a fantastic point, man. And like what you said there, just keep on tucking. That's something that I can't help but notice. It's all over your Instagram, your Facebook. It's like your motto, right? So like
Yeah.
keep on tucking. Tell me
Yeah.
about it,
Keep
dude.
on tucking. So for sure, like that is my motto. Like I do that a lot during the vegetation stage.
Yeah.
Like once my plant comes up enough for me to tuck it underneath the next little screen, I will bend it over and I'll let it just continue growing. So
Wow.
yeah, that's the main part of scrogging, is to keep on tucking your branches underneath the screen. A
Okay.
lot of people miss that important step, and their canopy becomes like just a bunch of different size of branches and close to the light. So that means that now you have to adjust your light to the highest bud or the highest plant on your canopy.
Yeah.
So you could have one high bud, but you could have a whole bunch down here. So,
I
but
got you.
now you're not maximizing your light to compare to the rest of your canopy.
Okay, so that's a really important point there, dude, because like what you're really saying there is that you really got to maximize the light that's hitting your even canopy, and that's how you're able to get that flat, nice canopy, right?
That's right. And that's how all your buds, they all think in their little heads, they all think that they're the top ones. They all think they're the top colas.
Yeah, it's so
Because,
true.
yeah, because none of them are taller than the other one per se.
Yeah, so true. That makes a lot of sense. Because, like, one thing I actually did notice is that all of your freaking buds, dude, are like almost always the same size. That's not something that I ever friggin' see, dude. So,
Yeah.
like, wow, just breaking it down for us simpletons out here.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, is keeping that even canopy, maximize your light, filling up your screen to maximize your space.
Yeah,
You can scrog in a low space, you can scrog in a high space. You
yeah,
can scrog, like, you don't have to have them on the floor, you can have it built on a platform. So
yeah,
you don't have to be like bending over and working. You can just have a platform and work off
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's so true, man. And even for like older folks, like that's probably great because you don't have to damage your back bending over too often. I actually saw like there was like a granny on one of the groups, man, and she's been scrogging as well. Like like it's going all over, man. And
Yeah.
like for her, I think that's probably something that'll be great as well because you don't got to bend down too much, and it's really just a lot easier.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I taught a few like grannies and grandpas how to scrog, and like they actually are really impressive with them.
Yeah, dude.
And for some people, I've taught like veterans that are in wheelchairs,
Fantastic.
and first they would say to me like, I can't do this because I can't get on the floor.
Yeah.
And then I would like kind of help them, like, hey, you can build a platform at the height of your wheelchair. So all you gotta do is reach in with your hands, and then you're at the level of your canopy. Your hands are never gonna get out of your reach. They're always gonna be right there for you to work on. You might not be able to have such a big screen, or you're gonna want to be able to wheel your wheelchair all the way around your screen. So you might want like an open room scrog if you're like in a wheelchair kind of thing.
Yeah, wow, interesting, dude. Like that's amazing. And like I really did know that you can really manipulate your scrog, and that's the beauty of it, right? Like depending on how you build it, you can have it high, you can have it low, you can have a single plant scrog, you can have multiple plants under one scrog. So that's fantastic points
Yeah.
that you just raised, dude. But I gotta ask, like before we get into like more in depth on scrogging, a lot of people probably have like what do we call it? Trellis net, right? A lot of people just have a trellis net. It's a lot bigger, it's a little more loopy, there's less of a frame. Now, is there any real difference between just throwing a trellis net on your plants and actually building the frame and scrogging?
Yeah, 100%. There
Yeah,
is a big difference in that. Unless you can find a trellis net that is like 2 inches to say 3.5 square size.
yeah,
You
okay.
can find trellis that small, then that would be fine. But most trellis that people can find these days is like 4 inch to 6 inch.
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah, and definitely that is in my mind, I wouldn't use that. I would call that like a trellis grow, where people are just spreading their branches open, which is good. Like
Yeah,
that's a great technique too. But scrogging, you're not going to be able to like with a 4 inch hole, like you're going to bend your branch over, but by the time that it like grows tall enough for you to tuck it again, it's going to be like it's going to have like a bunch of nodes already built on it. They're already going to
yeah.
be forming to the actual stem of the plant. They're not going to want to be like bent over. So it's nice
Yeah,
to get them young when they just think they just think like automatically they're going to stand up.
yeah.
So that's the
Wow.
thing. Like I like to tuck as soon as possible, not wait longer, so that you'd be waiting a lot longer veg. That
Yeah,
and then like sometimes the plant will get like even stronger stem wise. So like then you're trying to like bend a longer branch underneath the screen. So that's more of a chance of breaking it or
yeah.
snapping the branch.
Risky business, in other words.
Yeah.
I've snapped
Yeah.
my fair share of branches trying to tuck it under a scrog screen, man. I'm not even
Oh,
fronting.
I know for sure. Lots of people do. Like a lot of people think scrogging is like you grow your plants real big and then you like bend it over and bend it all around. Then you throw a screen on top of it, and then you flip your lights. Like that's what a lot of people think scrogging is, and that could be a way scrogging is to some people, but that's really not like the way that I would do it. And what I like to tell people is you want to train your plant into the screen. You don't want to train the screen into your plant.
Oh, amazing. I like that one, man. So what do you mean is like you basically, instead of like throwing a screen down over your plants, what you'll do
Yeah.
is train your plant into the screen, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I direct at a young age of my plants. I direct the branches where I want them to end up going in the future. So in my mind, I'll vision, okay, like if this is a pretty healthy branch right here.
Yeah.
It's going to grow bigger than this branch over here. I'm going to direct it right now to that corner because that corner is open on my screen and it needs space.
Yeah.
So I'll direct that branch and then I'll leave it and I'll start training it into that area.
I got
I'll
you.
never like move it, flop it over here, bend it there. Like I just keep on training that and then tucking the side branches that come off of it to fill up everywhere else.
Oh, I got you. Amazing, man. That's amazing. Because I did myself like put a screen over my plant, and I called it scrogging. I was like, yeah, I scrogged it, but
Yeah,
that way is a lot different, and that's something I picked up on like quite a while back. Like you always said, train your plants into your screen. Like you don't just throw the screen down. So I
100%.
started off like a smaller plant. The screen was like up here, and the plant was like maybe down here, and I started to just train the plant into the screen, and I noticed like it filled the screen just in a lot better of a way, a lot more controlled fashion.
Yeah. And so to make the plant, you're not stressing out the plant as much because the plant becomes used to it. The plant starts to think like this is my life. Like I grow under a screen instead of like becoming all tall for like 2 months. Then you bend it all over. And then the plant gets all like freaked out. Like what's happening to me? And why are you breaking my branches? Now I'm going to stress out and then turn into a hermaphrodite maybe. Like
Yeah.
so
Wow,
like,
good point.
yeah.
Man, that's amazing. Okay, guys, now we're gonna break down now exactly how we get into the screen and building a screen. But just smash the like button if you're getting value from this video so far. But Northern Scrogger, man, like when it comes to actually building a frame, now I know that there are a lot of different things you can use when you're building a frame. But is there anything in particular that you suggest people use when they're actually building the frame?
Well, all I can do is just tell you what I actually do. So like I just use a 3/4 inch PVCP or
Perfect.
CPVC.
Okay.
And then I just use the 3/4 inch 3-way tees.
Okay.
I attach my screen on the size that I want it to be. So say if I have a 4x4 tent, I'll make my screen like just under 4x4 because like if it's actually 4x4, you're not going to get it in there. But if it's just under, you'll get it in there.
Yeah.
I don't attach my screens to my tent poles. I actually build a frame right to the floor. And I like wrap it around like an actual if you look on my Instagram and stuff, you'll see what I mean by that. But I build like an all-out frame. It goes on the floor.
Yeah.
And that just makes it more sturdy, so I can control my canopy. Like, because you got to think like when I grow my plants, they don't ever get more than like say 2 feet tall or 3 feet tall off my floor. So that's a lot of pressure pushing on my screen.
Yeah.
So if I don't control my screen, then those plants could just lift my screen right up and walk away with it.
They'll be like, bye, I'm gonna see you later.
For sure. So I just found that there's nothing really yet that I found that would attach to my tent poles that would keep it really strong, hold it down without making the canopy kind of uneven-ish. So yeah, I build all out frame right from the base right up to my section where I put screws in that's the thing. You put your screws in every whatever size of holes you want. So if you want your holes to be 2.5 inches, you just got to put your screws 2.5 inches apart all the way down on all the sides.
Yeah. Got you. That's actually what I was going to ask next, man. So, but before I do, that's a fantastic point because sometimes like the frame can raise. Like I had a frame hanging from a closet scrog, and the plants were just lifting every time I went into the closet. It was just getting higher. I was like, okay, maybe I need to like tie some weights onto this frame or something and hang it down. But then it still sort of did this. So that's again not ideal. So I literally did what you did, and I put it straight onto the floor, built a frame, and it sat on the floor, and I got a lot better results that way. So,
That's good.
great point, man. Great point. Now, what you were saying about the square hole sizes, man. When you're really drilling in the nails in there, right? That's
Yeah.
when you need to get those the screws. You don't drill nails, my bad. The screw. When you're drilling in the screws,
Yeah.
you basically you need to determine how big you want it, right? So, is there any ideal square size that you would recommend? Because I know if you get too big, then you're basically just get growing like a trellis, right?
Yeah, for sure. So that's a good questions. Uh, what I recommend is anything under 2 inches, and even 2 inches sometimes is just too small
Yeah.
because you might have a plant that will have short node spacing and it'll just become too tight for your plants to like get in between that 2 inch hole spacing.
Yeah.
So I recommend to everyone just to keep it at like 2.5 to
Okay.
3.5. That's the
Okay.
ideal number. I play at 3 inches.
Yeah.
That's the whole spacing that I like to work
Yeah.
with is 3 inch. But I recommend 2.5 to 3.5 and you're golden.
Awesome, awesome, man. That's great because I think I used 3 inches and I did try two, and two was really tight for me to work with. I found it a little bit tight.
For
I think
sure.
I ended up scrapping that scrog and like screwing over the holes and doing it over. To be honest.
Yeah, I've learned from my mistakes by doing that same thing. Like I've done the 2 inches. I've even done like 1 to 1.5 when I was younger.
Wow. Yeah.
I just thinking like what would happen if I did this, and like that just creates like mold, mildew, because everything just becomes like, it depends what kind of plants you grow, but I like to grow like bushy plants, thick plants, nice
Yeah.
cola plants. So like if your holes are too small, the plants and the colas aren't going to have enough to grow through. So once they start to flower, that's when things start thickening up, like thickening right up. So you might think in veg stage with your 2 inch holes, yeah, I'm good. I got
Yeah.
everything looks all right. But once they start to flower and once they start to stack and build, that's when it becomes cramped and tight. And then you're fighting like it's just things aren't getting the light. You're gonna have a lot of light green bud that's not fully developed down there because everything is just too packed and crowded.
So true.
You
Wow.
need space.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great point, man. So I'm thankful for you for dropping that knowledge, man, because like I've learned the hard way as well, and like I think you really learn from just trying things, and once you realize, okay, this doesn't work, let's try something else, and this works, you settle on that, just like how you settled on the 3 inch holes, right?
Yeah, that's right, man. Practice makes better.
100%, dude. Now, guys, let's just shift over to the Know Your Bud segment. I specifically didn't tell Northern Scrogger about this segment because it's a straight up, off the cuff, off the rip, freestyle sort of segment. Northern Scrogger, I'm just going to ask you a few questions. There's no right or wrong answer to it. It's literally just a segment. I like to ask people questions. Everyone who comes onto the show is my bud, and I just like to find out what they do with their buds.
Okay.
So, no right or wrong answer. Just tell me what you prefer and why. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into it. First off, what's your preferred germination method? Paper towel method, glass of water method, or straight into the soil?
I use the glass of water into a paper towel.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice,
So I
interesting.
let them soak for I let my seeds soak for at least 12 hours, then into the paper towel, and then into the pots.
Okay, nice, interesting. So, do you use any hydrogen peroxide in that water or anything like that?
No, I just use my tap water.
Oh, nice. Curiosity kills me here, but what's the pH coming out of it at your tap?
My pH coming out of my tap is 6.8.
Wow, that's fucking amazing, dude. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
it
Oh my,
is.
wow,
And
you're
my
living that good
ppm is
life.
only, I have a nice tap water. My ppm is only 30 ppm.
Wow, dude, that Canada water is really super legit, dude.
Clean where I am, that's for sure.
Yeah, dude, I'm out here in Colorado. My pH is like 9 out of the tap, dude. I was running a DWC system. It was crazy, just having to keep
Holy,
everything in check. Man.
yes.
So that's why I gotta ask, man. I gotta ask.
Yep, for sure.
The next question is feminized or photoperiods? What's your preference?
I like to go with feminized with my style
Yeah,
because I've done the photo period thing and it sucks to find a male when you're like 2 months into veg under a scrog.
yeah, I got
It
you.
sucks.
Yeah, that's so true. That's a good point because under a scrog, you can move the plant and do that sort of thing. So if you find a male in there, like, have you ever found a male in there?
Oh, lots. I found males because when I first started growing, you couldn't just go buy feminized seeds, right? Like
Yeah,
the seeds I could get with the seeds that I would find from bags of stuff.
yeah.
So I would like grow what I had, and I'd find lots of males, and I
And
would
how would
already
you get it
have,
out?
I would just cut it out of my screen. So
Oh
like I always
man.
had like a 5x5 screen, and I always had like say 2 or 3 plants under it.
Yeah.
'Cause I was scared to grow more. Like back then, if I got caught, you get in big trouble.
Yeah.
So
Fuck yeah.
like yeah, so like, and how I do it is I put my screen on my plants 1 month into veg is when I apply
Okay.
my screen. And then
Okay.
I train for another month. I only veg for 2 months always. Like that's just my
Okay.
time. That's what I
Yeah.
do. I don't care if my screen is full or not. 2 months is my time period.
Okay.
So okay, where's going with that? Where is it going with that?
The taking out the photos, the
Yes.
mails from the screen.
Yeah. So I used to find male plants because I wouldn't sex them. I was young. I didn't know how to sex plants back then. Like
Yeah.
now I know how to do that, but I just don't waste my time. I just get feminized.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was easy to cut them out. You just cut like the base of the branches, and you just start cutting branches and just slowly just work your plant out. Because
Yeah.
I have other plants on the screen, so I don't want to cut my screen. I just gotta cut that male plant out.
Okay, I got you. Because at first I thought like you had to cut the whole screen, so you'll be like,
No,
okay, I cut the screen out, but you got to save the other plants. And if they're girls, like,
that's right.
yeah, man.
You just gotta work it.
Hell yes. Okay, so next question, we've got hydro or soil. What's your preference?
I'm
Or
I'm
maybe
a
cocoa.
soilless grower, so like I grow with peat moss and perlite.
Okay, okay, I got you.
Yeah, and
I got you.
I use Future Harvest Nutrients. I'm sponsored by them, so I use their product. I really do well with that.
Nice.
It's just what I've always done. I've never got into hydro yet, but that is going to be my next journey in life for sure.
Okay, I got you. So just out of curiosity, man, with the cocoa or the peat moss mixture that you're using, right? The inner it's
Yep.
basically inert, right? So you gotta sort of like keep the pH range and stuff in check, do you? I'm not sure. I never grew in
Yes,
like
for
soil.
sure. For sure, I have to keep my pH. What I use, I keep it in between 5.8 and 6.
Okay, wow.
That's
Okay.
where I always, as long as it's there, I'm good.
Yeah, okay. I got you. I never grew in cocoa or peat moss like as a pure mixture. I just grow in like living soil. I'm trying DWC, so I
Yeah.
still got a lot to learn when it comes to that, man.
Yeah, cocoa is actually a bit different. Like I grow in just peat moss and perlite.
Okay,
So
okay,
cocoa is a different kind of a medium as well. You would have to have a little bit of a higher pH when you're growing with cocoa. You have to water it a lot more with cocoa.
okay.
With what I use, you treat it just like soil. You don't have to water it every day. You have to
Yeah,
water it like every other day because it actually holds the moisture really well.
good
So
point.
it's pretty much like soil, and it smells like soil. It's just not soil. It's called
Yeah.
soil.
Yeah. It's so much that it's not soil, it's called soilless, guys.
Yeah. But it looks like it, tastes like it, everything like it, but
Yeah.
it's just not it.
Yeah. The best of both worlds, I guess. That's awesome. All
Yeah.
right. Next question is photo periods or autoflowers? What's your preference?
Um. Well, I would go photo period because I can't really scrog autoflowers the way I want to.
Good
Like
point.
I'm a scrogger. I straight
Yeah.
up I scrog everything. So with autoflowers, I can't fill my screen up because they
Yeah.
like automatically start to flower
Yeah.
before I want them to.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I got some that flowered like this small, like it's a complete waste of my time. And I got
Yeah,
some that are bigger, but like it's a complete gamble. And not
it
being able
is.
to train it is not fun for me personally.
Same here. Same here.
Well, I got you on that one, man. Okay, next question. Synthetic or organics? What's your preference?
Right now my preference is synthetics because that is what I'm using.
Very nice. I like that. What's the newts that you're using again? I think you just mentioned it.
Yeah, Future Harvest.
Yeah, how's that
So
going for you?
it's it's been awesome. I've been using it for my last 4 runs, and honestly, like it's probably been my best product that I have used since
Yeah.
I've started using these nutrients. So yeah, I really recommend them. The base in Canada, so they know they have good stuff. They use like good product, good ingredients in their product.
Okay.
Just a good overall company. They're fair. They have decent prices. So yeah, I'm happy with them.
Okay, I got you. And are they like dry nutrients or are they like liquid nutrients?
Yeah, they have both. They have dried and liquid.
Oh, bomb. That's pretty dope, man. I actually never heard of them, so I'm just about to pull it up on screen just to show
Yeah,
everyone what we're
yeah.
dealing with. So this is them here, guys. This is the Future Harvest. Let me just make that a little bigger for you guys. But as you guys can see, they've got different packs. So which pack do you use?
I use the one on the right, the Groom Grow, and
Okay.
the Micro,
Okay, I
the
got you.
bottles. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I got you. I got you. Nice, man. So that really helps you dial it in, and I guess that works perfectly with the cocoa. Not the cocoa. You're growing
Yep.
in peat moss, right?
Yeah,
Peat
yeah, for
moss setup.
sure.
Okay.
That's all you need right there.
Awesome. Awesome,
Um,
man. So I never tried these, but I'm always open to like giving different things a try. And I was telling someone recently, I'm fully in organics right now, but at points during flower, you find like difficulties. The soil runs out of nutrients. You may need to top dress, and it takes a little while for it to break down. So I'm thinking maybe just try something synthetic. Give it a try. You haven't tried it for like the last few years since I did like Fox Farm Trio or whatever. So
yeah.
maybe give something else a try. And this looks like something that I can definitely give a try, man.
Oh, for sure. Read about it. Like honestly, like don't just take it from me. Actually, do some reviews on it, and
Yeah.
you'll hear some good comments about it. It's
Awesome,
good
dude.
stuff for sure.
Yeah, say no more, fam. I'm there. I'm gonna look into that, and I'm always here to
You
to
know
try
what?
to support.
You can even use the code SCROG and save like 10% on your order if you want to.
Nice, nice. Well, guys, you heard that. So check out Future Harvest Nutrients, and you can use the code SCROG, and you can save 10%. I know I'm gonna
Right.
definitely check this out because I got some fertilizer recently, some liquid nutrient fertilizer for flower, man, and it burnt the hell out of my plants, man. So I'm looking
Yes.
for a good suggestion right now.
Yeah. Well, definitely less is best too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
So whatever the bottle says, I never do what the bottle says. Even with the future harvest, I just in my mind I don't. I do three
Okay.
quarters of what the bottle says.
Okay, that's a good point because I tried to do that as well, but I guess like I hadn't grown in synthetics for so long I forgot, and I just literally, dude, I eyeballed it, I poured it into a little cup, and I mixed it up, and I was like, okay, let's go. The next
Yeah.
day, everything was dead. Like
Oh wow.
next day, bro.
Yeah, you must have really, really went overboard.
Yeah, I went in hard. So it was a gentle reminder to myself to always less is more.
That's right.
For sure, dude. But next question: wet trim or dry trim? What's your preference?
I dry trim, but I do wet trim my big fan leaves. So like
Okay.
all the big fan leaves, I
Yeah.
take them off. I hang my plants for about 10, 11, 14 days sometimes later is when I
Yeah.
do my dry trim and then I do my curing.
Okay, nice. I got you. I think I do something very similar to you as well, man. So I take off the big fans and then I dry them up and try to cure them after that. But do you go for like a long, slow dry and cure as well?
Yes, I do. Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. I nice and slow. I keep my room at like 60.
Well, yeah,
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 and I just let it go slowly. The longer you can cure it, the better the taste is gonna be.
yeah. So true, man. Like I've cured some stuff for like 6 months to a year, and it was like fine wine. It just
Yes,
tasted so good.
for sure. That is the most difficult part of doing this whole process is the drying and curing stage.
Yeah, that's where it
Like,
can make or break it, right?
yeah, yeah. A lot of people think like, oh, like the growing part's hard. That's not the hard part. The hard part is actually drying and curing it. Like that usually takes people quite a few times to get it right.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So true. Actually, they've got these Grove bags out now. Have you tried those?
I have tried the Grove bags. Yeah,
How has they been?
I do. I like the Grove bags. I've used them only once so far, and it's been working out for me great. The taste is there, the terps are there, everything has stayed. So
Nice.
yeah, so I am happy with that. They are good. They are
Okay,
good.
fantastic. I haven't tried it yet, so I just wanted to ask. I'm getting closer to harvest, but like I just haven't tried it, you know?
Yeah, no, that's another product that I actually would recommend, and like only because I've used it. Like I only
Yeah.
recommend things that I've used, and that is something that I've used. I
Yeah.
actually have one sitting right here beside me.
Awesome. Look at that big ass bag, man. So it
Yeah,
works great.
so this one is like, yeah, this is the 1 pound bag.
It's a 1 pound bag, bro.
It's almost gone now though.
Oh my god, that's a whole huge bag, bro.
Man, they make huge bags. They
Oh
make bags for
man.
like commercial buildings. They make
Yeah.
bags for like 20-pound bags.
Shit, bro. I never
Yeah,
knew that. I only saw like the small ones that look like you could probably fit an ounce in there, but I haven't tried the grow bags myself. That's why I've been a little bit hesitant to really just, give a review and speak my mind on it because I haven't tried it, dude. So I
for
don't
sure.
know. So, but I'm always asking people like, what do you guys think of it? Because I know a lot of people use them. So, do they actually keep like the RH in check, or do you have to like throw any humidity
No,
packs in there as
no,
well?
they keep it in check. They actually
Shit.
do, but you need to keep it in a room that's relatively kind of close to that, right? You can't
Okay.
have it. You can't have it like sitting in a sauna
Yeah,
because
I
it
got you.
will breathe that. But if you keep it in a room that's close to where you want it, it will breathe and it will actually burp itself.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great point. I actually forgot that. No more burping. You never have to burp a jar
No,
again.
seal. You heat seal the rim of it, the top.
Yeah.
You just like, yeah, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, nice, man. That's sick. I'm gonna give that a try. All right, before I get too carried away, let's move on to the last question. Edibles or vapes? What's your preference?
I'd say vapes because edibles hit me really hard.
That's the question. That's the answer I got quite often. It's either people are like, yeah, I take them every night before I go to sleep so I can go to sleep, or I don't fuck with them at all because they fuck me up, bro.
Oh man, yeah, they fuck me up, and like they fucked me up so bad. Like one time I took a big, because like I do like a lot of the stuff I get a lot off my straws.
Yeah.
And
Fuck yeah.
I used to just do like 1 year grow, and I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But now that I'm like teaching people and kind of trying to like showcase like what I do, I'm growing a lot more. So now I have a lot more products. So one time I just made a big batch of butter, and then I scooped a little bit and put it some in like a tea, and I just drank it, and I was fucked. I was so fucked. I couldn't even like I was like anxiety, paranoid, freaking out. Started Googling how to come down off cannabis butter and stuff, and like
cannabis butter tea that's like super potent. I'm just trying to go crazy out here.
Man, but I learned lemons.
Yeah.
If you cut lemons up and squeeze it in water, or just drink the lemon, but just make lemon water and drink it, you will come down within 15 minutes and be at an even level where you can like comprehend life again.
Fuck, no way, dude. Lemons. That's
lemons.
Oh fuck, bro. That's a secret. Like I haven't had that happen to me yet. Maybe because I haven't like gone hard on the edibles yet. But if I do, those fucking lemons, bro.
Go hard now. Go hard now. Just make sure you have lemons and experience the craziness that I did. It's wild.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try to just like you did in the tea, and like just have that concentrated dose of butter. You're crazy, dude. You're a crazy guy.
Man, well, let's just say that scared me of edibles, so I prefer vapes.
Okay. Oh man, I love it, man. That's amazing, man. Smash the like button, guys, if you fucking enjoy that shit as well. Wow, that's a dope Know Your Bud segment, man. Thank you so much for like sharing with us, and that's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah, no worries at all. Thank you so much for having me, Matt.
Yeah, for sure, dude. But we're not done yet, man. I've actually got another question to ask you, man.
Good.
It's about your grow setup. Like you did mention that like the first time you went into a grow setup back in the day, it was like a doctor's office, like really clean, white plants, beautiful plants. And what I notice about your grow setup is that it's always fucking beautiful, dude. Like you got a lot of white going on. You've actually got the white grow tents. You've got like the panda film and stuff. You got like it's just so clean. Everything. It looks like you can lick food off the ground in there. Like that's how clean it looks.
That's how you keep it clean. If you have white, you can like see the dirt.
Yeah.
That's what I've always noticed. I can keep things clean better, and it is better for reflectivity and heat the whiteness.
Yeah. So true.
Like everywhere you grow, like I work at a local LP, so like I work on like thousands of plants a day in a huge facility.
Wow.
So where I work, all the grow rooms are white. Everything's white. They keep it super clean. Like you should see how clean our facility is. Like
nice.
you can actually lick the floor in where I work. Like,
yeah.
Like my space is relatively clean, but it's still dirty at the same time. Like I have like dog hair in my buds every time.
Okay, I see.
Like my dog, like sheds, so I have dog hair everywhere. Like that's just natural because like my space is connected to my house.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you got to keep your spaces clean because that's what's gonna prevent the bugs.
Yeah. Great point, man.
Yeah, and that's why I keep it clean because I don't have bug issues because I keep it spotless in here as much as I can.
Yeah, amazing point, man. Like I knew that like there was something else to like the super cleanness and the white, like everything being so white. It's almost like a surgeon's office, dude. Like you could go in there and perform a surgery, dude. But like I didn't actually know that it really helped like with to that level, But one thing I want to plug quickly, man, like your white grow tents, you've got white Northern Scrogger grow tents, right? And that's been out for a while. So I just want to plug that, man. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so like when I started looking into getting a grow tent, I wanted to buy a white interior grow tent. So I went on the market, started trying to find some, and when I was searching at the time, I couldn't find any except for there was one called the Bud Box, but that was from the UK. It was really nice, but it was really expensive.
Yeah.
And so like at the time, I just thought like I'm building a name. This was a couple of years ago. Like I just started getting into Northern Scrogger.
Yeah, this is a while back.
Yeah, and I just like wanted to take a chance, and so I took it a shot, and I ordered two sizes of 4x4s and 4x8s.
Yeah.
With the white interior and heavy duty zippers and like extra ventilation holes. And yeah, and I just rode with it. Got some nice white interior grow tents, and yeah, they're almost sold out now. So
proper,
pretty wild.
Yeah, dude. So guys, definitely give that a look. Like I keep saying, I'm gonna put links to everything down below. But like those white grow tents, I've seen them. Like I think I seen them like at least a year and a half ago on your page, man. And I was like, wow, this friggin' white grow tent looks amazing. Why the hell did I just cop my lame ass black one?
Also, they're good if you like taking pictures of your garden. Like they're excellent for a background picture. Like because it's a nice white background of a picture, right? Like it just shows the color of your plants. It just pops everything up even more than like say a silver mylar tent, because it's more, if you take a picture in a silver tent, you see a lot of the reflective all over the place. Like it's just not as crisp as a nice white screen grow space. That's just my personal preference. Like a lot of people will prefer the mylar. I'm not going to like knock anyone for that. I just have like my personal preference.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's the whole point of the show, man. A lot of people got different preferences, different ways to grow. There's no right or wrong answer. So I'm just trying to hear what you got to say, you know?
For sure. That's my motto too. There's no right or wrong, even growing styles. Like I appreciate everyone and the way they grow, and I learn every day, like from different people, like how they grow and what they do. And yeah, I just love the community. Like it's this is the way it is.
Yeah, dude, it's such a beautiful community, man. Everyone that's like tuned in right now, and everyone like on your group, on your page, and like even just the speed at which your friggin' Instagram page has grown back up, man. Like I know you got a ways to go, but like every little bit counts, and everyone has been sharing. Everyone is like I myself has shared it, man. Like everyone has been sharing it, and like just trying to get it back up. So guys, check him out on Instagram. He's featured on like Seedsman all the time. Like we've actually got a discount code for Seedsman below, guys. Check it out. But he's grown some fantastic peyote. Was it the peyote Skittles? I think that was featured on there. Yes. Man, tell us about that, dude. That was crazy, bro.
Yeah, that grow was beautiful. Like my plan for those plants, I grew 4 of them in my 4x8. I was gonna grow 2 on one side and 2 on the other side. But early in my veg stage, I figured out that one plant was a beast compared to the other 3. So I had to stuff 3 on one side and that one peyote Skittles on its one little section of my 4x8. So it pretty much had its own 4x4 section. Wow. And yeah, that thing just blew up and like stretched out real nice with nice tight node spacing. So it actually grew colas on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it filled pretty much my whole 4x4 side. So yeah, that's a beautiful plant. It's drying right now in the dark, but when I like start taking some pictures of that in like a couple of weeks here, it's gonna be really nice looking stuff.
Wow, dude. Like I saw Seedsman had reshared it and stuff on their socials, man. So guys, check out Northern Scrogger's Instagram, because when he posts those pictures, you're gonna want to fucking see that, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Like I'm lucky enough that I actually saved a lot of my content from my last Instagram. So I am uploading like stuff from like my old Instagram, just reloading it, right? Because like it is good stuff, and like I don't want to lose it, but it is unfortunate that somehow for some reason Instagram decided to take me down. But it is what it is, and that's life, right? You just gotta keep on keeping on, and man, like
keep on tucking.
Yeah, dreams don't work unless you do, right?
Facts, man. You got to make it happen. And like Instagram has done that to me as well. They just deleted my page, no warning. They didn't even remove a picture. They just deleted the page. The whole page was gone. I couldn't recover it. So it's really like a struggle, man. And thankfully, I had pictures backed up just like you. So that good thinking, backing those up.
It's also like our community is also like a great community for sure. Like the cannabis family, everyone is great, but we do have those people that like are like jealous.
Yeah.
And also haters, right?
Yeah, so true.
Like, the reason why my Instagram got deleted is because of I kept getting reported by like just random people that just don't, like, I don't know what it is, but they would just report me, and I kept getting messages saying I'm promoting guns and violence. But like obviously there's no guns and violence.
Yeah, nothing like that. I've never seen anything like that on your page ever, dude. Let's just put it that way.
No, I don't share anything different than anybody else. Any of the people that follow me. Like we all share the same stuff, and like that's just. But it is the way that our world is, social media, right? Like it's just like my Scroggers group. Like my main mission on that Scroggers group is to delete and block any bullies, any spammers, anyone that just is there to just be rude and cause disturbance. That is our mission as admins. We love it. We love going in there and just blocking and removing those people. Like, because I want that group to just be clean and free, and I want people to be comfortable to ask anything they want and just have a happy environment. Not like post a picture and all of a sudden you just get like, buy this here, buy that here, buy this here, look at this. Like I hate that. I hate going into other groups and just seeing like all those spams and those comments. It just drives me wild. So at Scroggers, we try to get rid of that as quick as possible.
I love that, dude. I love that. And I actually noticed like as like times progressed, because I have a Facebook group myself as well. It's nowhere near yours at like 65,000. My own I think is like at 20,000 now. I had a big ass one that got deleted completely, was gone.
What is your group called? I'll like, am I in it?
I don't know, man. It's called the Cannabis Growers Helping Beginner Growers Group. So I've got that one. It's a public one. And then I've got the Growers Support Network. That's a private one. So on that one, like I know you got to move with the times, because I've seen like you did the same thing I did. You got to like now put the NFSOT on all of your posts, not for sale or trade. People are always trying to sell stuff. They're also just haters out there, man. And when you're doing something good, you get haters. And like I'm sure you have a lot of haters out there probably reporting your stuff. I've posted like some YouTube videos recently, and I've got a bunch of likes, and then there's always one dislike, one dislike, one dislike. So I'm like, there's clearly one guy out here who just doesn't like me, dude.
No, there is. Like if you're doing something right, there's going to be someone there that's going to try to bring you down because they're not doing it right. So in their mind, like they're not putting their energy in where it should be, and it's just easier for them to try to bring you down. So it's just sad, but that is life, and like you're doing good, and you just gotta keep on working and keep on building, and like we're gonna be fine.
Yeah, dude,
we're workers. We're workers, man.
Hell yeah, I love that, man. Like we got so much in common, man. I like that. But let's keep the positive vibes going, dude. So I got something else to ask you about the Scrog, man. Like you got amazing branches all the time. Like that peyote Skittles, like after you harvested, like the branch frame, the structure, it was magnificent, bro. So what I gotta ask is, do you like how do you get that structure? Do you lollipop everything below the screen? Like what's your defoliation like?
Well, how I get that structure is all about the beginning stages of how I train for the Scrog.
Okay,
so
I got you.
That's like, I think that's like my step 1 or step 3 in my tutorial. My tutorial's on my website, northernstrugger.com. It's free. Like it's free. You just go there and read it.
I actually forgot about that, man. That's a great tip. Guys, check out that freaking tutorial, man.
It's so what I do is like I was telling you before, I train my plants for 1 month before I put that screen on.
Okay.
So I'm now using these cool pots from a company called Bud Pots.
Nice.
And like they're really nice, and they have holes in the side, so I can like bend my branches down and train to the side of my pots, and just now I'm already growing horizontal without the screen because I'm bending the branches down.
Okay.
I'll top my plants normally once.
Okay.
And the only reason why I top my plant is because that main stalk on a plant is always thicker than the ones that come off the sides.
Yeah.
So that main stalk will normally eventually become too hard to tuck because it's just going to get thick. But if you top it, then the two new ones, like not new ones, there's the two nodes that are below where you topped.
Yeah.
Once they start to grow up, they're going to be skinnier now. So you can bend them just like all the other branches on the plant because they're not going to be that same thickness, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I top. I don't top to create more tops. I only top to make that main stalk not as stiff.
Yeah. And it helps you like flex it under the screen, right?
Exactly. So I will top my plant, let the two new nodes start growing, and then I'll tie them down to the sides of my pot. I'll keep tying my plant down. And then once I look over top of my plant, say after a month, and I notice a whole bunch of bud sites, like what you would think is bud sites, but really it's just new nodes.
Yeah.
When I see a whole bunch of node sites, I will apply my screen.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And then I untie everything off of my pot and let the plant kind of just like, once you untie everything, it just naturally like goes up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I start and then I visualize where do I want this branch to go, and I aim it that way. Where do I want that branch to go, and I aim it that way. Then I start doing that kind of a technique. But my base of the plant is already created for me training it at a young age. So by the time my plant gets old, yeah, all that training looks crazy because now it's big. Now it's big.
And it's hardened off and it's solid.
Yeah.
Wow. Fuck, man. That's amazing. Like, guys, check out that tutorial, man, because like the way he breaks it down is like clockwork. It's science. Like, and it makes a huge difference when it comes to like actually utilizing your screen to increase your yield. Now, something I gotta ask as well, Northern Scrubber, is that some of your lights, like you said, you don't grow like super high. So some of your lights are sort of close down to your canopy. Like, how low should your lights be over your screen?
Yeah. Okay, so that is determined by your light. Like a lot of lights are different, but the way that I work my lights is I work my lights how I want my plant to grow. So that being said, if I want my plant to stretch more and try to fill my screen more, I'll keep my plant I'll keep my light like not dimmed up. I'll keep it turned down, and I'll raise it up off my canopy. That's gonna initiate your plant to like stretch a little bit for the light. Once my plant's stretching enough, and I keep on tucking, and I can get more tucks out of my plant, and I'm ready to like put the flower mode on, I will lower my light again, dim it up a little bit, like raise it up, and then there you go, switch to flower. Like that's a technique that I use to fill my screen. Is I keep my LEDs high in the vegetation stage just so I can keep on filling my screen up. The lower my light goes, the shorter your plant is going to be, because it's just the plant thinks that light is the sun, and normally it's not going to grow into the sun. It's going to stay like right around the top of the sun. It's just going to hover here and kind of like be stunted and just hang out there. But if you keep raising the sun up, the plant's going to keep on getting bigger quicker. So that's how I work my LED lights for sure. Oh, did we freeze?
I got you. I think we just froze for a second there, guys, but don't worry about it. We got him here still. But I got what you're saying about the light, and it pretty much thinks that it's the light, you know. So makes a lot of sense, man. So the real reason I asked is because that stretching is really important sometimes for you to like control your stretch. Sometimes you don't want like super close internodal stacking, right? Because that can be a pain to just train to try to actually get those branches out of there. It's not easy.
No, it's not. Yeah, that's bang on. Like if you have your light closer, your nodes are going to be growing a lot closer to each other, and then that's not going to create you to be able to tuck your branches, because it's just going to sit there and build and stack, which is nice. Like that's what most people want when they grow, right? You want it just to build nodes right close together, but I want it to fill the screen first, and then I want to build the tight nodes.
I got you.
Like I kind of want my node spacing to be a little bit spread out when I'm scrogging, just so I can fill my screen holes with a little bit of gaps. I don't want them to be super tight together.
Yeah, makes sense, man. Because I found that like super tight internodal stacking for me is just super painful. Sometimes I can't train the plant the way I want to, so I'm not a huge fan of super close internodal stacking.
Yes, for sure. Just definitely mostly in if you're training in a trellis, scrogging, anything like that, you don't want that right away.
Okay.
But it's great if you're just growing in like a standard room loan and you just want your plant to be a Christmas tree. That's great.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes Christmas trees look good, man. Like,
oh, for sure. For sure they do.
Yeah, man, for sure. Now, like you mentioned earlier, you don't always aim to fill the whole screen, right? You got a system and it works for you. You veg for 1 month. Is it veg for 1 month? You veg for 1 month.
Yep.
You tuck for 1 month, and then you flower for 1 month, right?
That's right. So like my first month is the germination and everything.
Yeah.
Like germinating, seedling stage, early veg, early veg. That's the first month. The second month, I apply my screen, and then I tuck for a full month.
Got you.
And then I just flip, just because it's just easy. I don't know why I've always done that. It's just easy for me to be like monthly, every month. It's just how I do it.
Yeah, you got it down to a routine, bro. That's what smart people do. They get everything down to a science.
But do you know what is crazy is that everybody thinks that I veg for like 6 or 8 months. Yeah, everyone. They're like,
I thought so too, dude. I can't lie.
Yeah, But no, you know what the trick is? That my screen is low. I keep my screen like 6 inches or so off the top of my pot.
Ooh,
So
okay.
so that just creates like a shorter veg time because the
Yeah.
plant doesn't have to get tall before I start to scrog it. It's like scrogging right away.
Yeah, good point. Because that's actually my next question. I was going to ask, like, what's the ideal pot distance in your experience to have it away from the screen? So you'd
Yeah.
say like 6 inches.
Yeah, I say 4 to 6 inches.
Oh, 4 to 6. Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Okay, I'm gonna definitely have to give that a try because I've tried
But
it. I think a little bit higher, and it took
yeah,
longer to veg, dude. Like you
it
said.
does. It does. Like it will. Like yeah, because you have to now the plant has to grow like 8 inches up to that screen or whatever.
Fuck yeah, didn't
So
even think of that.
but you need to make it comfortable for you to be able to reach in and still work on your plants, right? So for elderly people, I would say like stick to the 6 or 7 range, just so you can get in there still and work underneath.
Yeah,
I'm kind of crazy,
smart.
so I go low.
I've literally seen a northern scrog under the scrog, like crawling on the floor underneath and taking
Oh
like
yeah,
selfies under the scrog. Like,
and I'll
guys,
be
he's
doing
awesome.
that. Yeah, like I'm taking my next grow to YouTube actually. Like I've been
Dope.
away from YouTube for quite a while here, but since Instagram's kind of being this way and I just lost all my live videos on Instagram. I used to
Fuck
come on live and do this like once a week and sit here for an hour and like answer hundreds of questions.
yeah, dude.
And then
Like
I would
facts.
save them. I would save
Yeah,
them. They're gone. So like that was my main that sucked the most about that. But
yeah.
now I'm taking it to YouTube. I worked a deal with Seedsman. I'm sponsored by them. They're gonna help me with this. So I'm doing I'm gonna have a really cool like just training scrog. That's gonna be my YouTube now. It's just gonna be like I'm gonna start it up here in probably a month, and
Dope.
it's gonna be wicked training for scrogs, and you can see my whole grow, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be nice. So
That's
stay
something I'm
tuned for
actually gonna
that.
look out for. Yeah, I'm gonna look
Mhm.
out for that one, man. Dope. That's dope.
Hopefully
How many
YouTube is nice.
YouTube, they can be sometimes, but they can be a pain in the ass sometimes as well. So
Yeah,
I wish you the best of luck. If you need any help, man, I'm always here to help and any way I can.
I
Um,
appreciate that.
for sure, dude, for sure.
And
Um,
likewise, man, if you ever need anything, I'm here for you too.
Thank you, dude. I do appreciate that, man. Just by jumping on the show, spreading all this information with everyone and teaching people the way of the scrog, man. That's fantastic.
Yeah, awesome. My pleasure.
Yeah, dude. Fuck. How many plants do you usually aim for, dude? Like, how many plants do you usually aim for, like, per screen? Because I know it varies based on your screen size, but
Yes,
like
that's right.
with your ideal screen size, how many plants do you get under there?
So with my ideal screen size, I would use like say a 5x5 screen, and I would grow like 4 plants under it.
Wow.
And then like
Okay.
that, yeah, and with a 2 month veg, 4 plants under a 5x5 screen, it will fill your screen up really nicely.
Dope. And how
Um,
much would you usually pull off of like those 4 plants, like yield wise? I know you
well,
probably don't eat like you weigh everything anymore because I stopped doing that myself a
yeah,
long time. But
I did. I definitely did stop, but I do remember numbers from when I was getting good, and like I would average like probably like 6 to 8 ounces per plant.
ooh, fuck,
Yeah,
bro.
and that's what I still average to this day. It's always around like 6 to 8 ounces, 6 to 8 ounces per plant.
Performance, man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Fuck.
but the thing, it's also quality bud. It's not
Yeah.
just like 6 to 8 ounces of like shitty stuff. It's
Yeah.
actually all top colas that are just really nice. Like my buds are really nice normally.
Yeah. They
But you
are. They
always
definitely are.
you always get that shitty runs. I grow from seed every time. I don't clone like I don't find a good mother plant and clone it. So I'm always like taking a gamble because a
Yeah.
seed is a gamble. Like you're either
Yeah.
gonna get a nice one, it's gonna be the kind of normal, or you're gonna have a like a stunter, and like that does happen for
Yeah. It
sure.
does. I've
So it
I've had
is.
quite a few of those myself, and I hate it.
Mhm.
It's not fun, man. It's
Yeah, and you
definitely
might
not
you might
fun.
think you're doing something wrong. You're like, what am I doing wrong? All the other plants look beautiful, but this one plant is just looks like it's deficient. Like it's because it's like one of the little oddballs out. You're not doing anything wrong.
Yes.
It's just that one's just not a. It's the run.
That's the problem, not you. Don't worry about it, guys.
Right. That's right.
Oh fuck, man. Now, like one thing that a lot of people I think are a bit maybe turned off or hesitant to get into scrogging for is the fact that there's a lack of mobility, man. So you can't move your plants once they're in there, they're in there. If you got an
Mhm.
issue, you got to take it out. It's just a little bit more difficult to just pull the whole plant out. You got to do it by branch by branch. But if you had to speak to someone in that situation and tell them it's not so bad, what would you say to them?
Yeah, I would definitely, like, I would just tell them just to try it once. Like,
Yeah.
just try it once and make sure you do a lot of YouTube videos, read a lot of stuff about scrogging, and like kind of learn it first. Don't just build a screen and wing it. You gotta actually like read it. You gotta read a little bit and like vision. You gotta use your head and just vision of what you're trying to accomplish with the horizontal growth. Because if you think about it, growing horizontal, all those nodes are gonna stand up on those branches and just become their own independent bud, right?
Branch. Yeah.
So you just vision what is happening, and like, and then you need to decide like how mobile you want. Do you want to have a platform scrog and you can like have a table like what I have done before? I built the table with scrog coming off it. Like I put my own like legs on my table, and I could just stand there and just work on my plants. It was so easy. I could walk around the table, easy as ever. My buds were like this high on me when I stood up, but everything I worked on was all like right here. So
Bro,
it was just awesome. I wouldn't be concerned about the mobility part, because you got to build it to how it is for you.
Yeah.
If you're going to build it on the floor, then yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult for you to work on, but you know that because you built it on the floor. So yeah, it's really just common sense, and it like once you try it once, you just got to try it once, and you will actually probably really love it.
Yeah, for sure, man. I definitely second that. Like, you got to give it a try, guys. You can get really creative with it. Like Northern Scrogger mentioned earlier, he uses PVC. There's certain materials I've tried. I've seen people use wooden frames and stuff, but you gotta just be careful of the moisture and that sort of stuff with the wood. So you just got to be smart about what you're using, guys. Like same thing with the strings and stuff. So if you're using some strings, there's some people who say like the fishing wire may cut your plants as you go through the flower stage. So again, just got to be careful.
Yeah, good points for sure.
Yeah, dude. Something else I think I was going to say was about the mobility. So if you guys think mobility is an issue, the PVC frames are super convenient. You can build a single plant scrog, throw it on a wheelbase, and you can have that in your grow room. You know, you can move it around, and it's one plant, but you're still scrogging, you know, so you can try it out. I've seen a lot of people on the Scroggers Facebook group actually who made some ingenious single plant scrogs, you know, with a single base. It goes up, it gets a lot wider. And it's fucking amazing, dude.
It is cool. Like,
yeah,
it is pretty wild, but it's so creative. You're right. Like, people can do some special stuff with their screens and make it look really, really awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's neat. Like people on Stroggers now are like surpassing me. Like what is that? Like, what are you? He's like, I built a special double, triple layer scrog.
Yeah, dude.
This side goes here and this side comes over here and have a light there. I'm like, holy crap, man, that's like really wild. Like, yeah, it's definitely it's becoming a really good technique, popular and blowing up in the industry. So that's really awesome.
Yeah, man. Facts. And the PVC makes it so easy to just manipulate and customizable. And you mentioned like people making 2 and 3 tear scrog frames. Now, before we close off, just tell us the difference between like a single tear frame and those double and triple tear frames.
For sure. So the reason why people are building like the double screen frame is because like they like to fill their first screen all the way up before they flip to flower.
Yeah.
So they'll fill that first screen right full. And then they'll flip to flower, and they let their plants stretch up. But they need the second screen now for support because their branches are so tall now that if that second one wasn't there, they'd just flop over like this late in the flower. And that's not good. That wouldn't be good. So they use the second trellis so they can like weave their branches into this. So really what they're doing is they're scrogging the first screen and then using the second screen as like a trellis grow to separate the branches and use it as support, which is pretty cool and badass because some of them are really good at it and they get some nice big fat colas that are like a foot long on them.
Yeah, like crazy, like all this, bro.
yeah, like some there is some wonderful growers out there. That's really, really remarkable. So yeah, it's really neat to see and have a group that big because like I said, I learn every day when I go on that Scroggers group and like I just read stuff and there's some smart people on there.
Yeah,
really smart. And there's those assholes too that are out there and think they know it all and chirpy, but like those are gonna be everywhere. You just gotta learn to like go past them.
Yeah, always, man. Like there'll always be those people. There'll always be people saying like, "You didn't fill your screen. You didn't fill the whole screen. Haha, you suck." Like,
yeah.
Guys, you heard it from Northern Scrogger himself. He doesn't even fill his whole screen.
No,
so
man,
don't stress it.
Yeah, it's not about filling your screen. If you don't fill, I would rather not fill my whole screen than run out of space on my screen. Because if
Facts.
you run out of space on your screen, then you're actually fucked. But if you still have a few holes left over, you're good, and your plant's still gonna be huge. Like either
So
way,
true.
your plant's gonna be big.
Yeah. Fuck
Like
yeah, man. Dude, so much crazy, awesome knowledge that you dropped, man. Like that double screen, I never knew that that was the reason why. I just thought it was for like extra training, but it makes a lot of sense when you think about it, man. So
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
for sure, no problem.
100%, man. Now, I think we touched on a lot of different things today, like from germination seedlings, a lot on scrogging, all the different types of heights, distances, the ways to increase your yields, guys. So smash the like button if you enjoyed it, man. But Northern Scrogger, before we go, like for everyone that wants to like find out what you're doing, check out more about you, maybe hit you up and ask you a few questions. Where can they find you, man? What do you got going on?
I would say the best place to find me is straight up on Facebook. I'm
Okay.
Northern Scrogger. I have a business page and even my personal
Dope.
page. I'm Northern Scrogger on there. You can send me a DM. I'm typically I'll get to it within a day, but I go through a lot and I do help a lot of people. So you just have to be in line a little bit. Even on my new Instagram it's now my new Instagram's the Northern Scrogger.
Okay.
Yeah, just send me a DM in there and I'll answer anything that you ask me. Like I'm here to help. That's what I want to do. And yeah, man, anything you guys need related to the cannabis or related to scrogging and stuff, I'm there for that.
Yeah, awesome. Got you, man. Like I said, guys, he's got a lot of good dope stuff going on. We're gonna put links to everything down below. Look out for his YouTube channel and the what was it? The Scrog series that's gonna happen with
That's right.
Steveman. That's
Yeah.
supposed to be fucking dope. I'm excited for that, man. I'm
Yeah.
stoked.
Oh, I'm gonna try to do my best on that and just that's where I'm just gonna start doing some nice series on YouTube just so people can see it in video and just
Yeah.
understand what I'm doing, working with my hands, show
Yeah.
you when to tuck, show you how I'm tucking. Even certain aspects like when I defoliate and flower, like I'll even
Oh,
cut
yeah.
certain nodes off.
Yeah.
Just little things that's hard for me to explain to you right now, but when I'm like actually doing it, I can explain it and
Yeah.
tell people why.
And you can see it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Nice, man. Nice. Like I'm definitely gonna look forward to that, guys. So you guys should as well. There are a lot of tips and tricks when it comes to increasing your yield. And Northern Scrogger's got a lot of them. Like just check out his following, his page, and you'll see for yourself, man. A lot of people are using those tips to maximize their yield and put their own little spin on it in their grow room. So it's definitely worth the watch, man. Now, Northern Scrogger, thank you so much for coming on, man. Like I know it took a lot of time for us to get this set up, but I'm super happy to have you on and just thank you, man. Honestly, thank you so much.
Matt, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for having me. I'm actually really happy we got on here. I enjoyed this. This is great.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
I loved it too, man. We got a lot of common. Like, Know Your Bud segment was dope, man. And like, hopefully we can jump on and do it again sometime soon.
No, 100%. We'll link up in the future, man. No doubt.
For sure, dude. Well, guys, smash the like and Northern Scrogger, I'm gonna see you, dude.
Thanks, everyone. Take care. Thank you for watching.
Have a good one.